just wanted to make a video saying that I'm sorry. And it's very vague. It's going to be very broad. But I wanted to apologize. Because God knows there's countless people that I should be apologizing to. So I've been doing lots of thinking. I'm a very introspective person, just generally. I reflect. And it's not even that I like to do it. It's that I just do it. It's not particularly something I enjoy doing. But in my reflection, I'm thinking back to people that I've encountered in my life. Friends, family, colleagues, ex-classmates. And I'm thinking about my encounters and my experiences and the activities we engaged in and the moments we shared and the relationships that were so good in my life. But they're no longer there. They're gone. And I don't talk to anyone or many of these people anymore. It's as though, you know, it feels like I woke up one day and it just hit me. You know, this wave of, whoa, everyone's gone. And it's a very weird feeling. It's, you know, I felt this sort of thing a lot when I was just living for the past 10 years, right? And I guess it's incrementally been building up within me because I haven't spoken it out, you know. So I haven't really planned to say anything here, but I suppose I'm just engaging in a free association. And the message I'm trying to convey is that I apologize to many of you who I might have done wrong to. And I'm going back 10 years. You know, I'm thinking 5, 10, 15 years ago, high school, college years, where there were so many people that I had a great friendship, a great relationship with, and it just dissipated. And I can't specifically think of every single person and every single instance in which I might have done something that was wrong, questionable, rude. But there are certain instances where I definitely feel like I violated my conscience. And obviously that manifests, you know, currently and over time through guilt. And, you know, it's hard to say, but, you know, you feel terrible about some of the things you might have said and some of the people that you might have just let sail away without even being at shore and waving goodbye, you know. And you know, I really should have done, I've tried reaching out to some people over time, and a lot of the times I think about certain people, I go and, you know, being gifted with the luxury of technology, you can search people on social media, and they aren't there. Or they're there and, you know, you used to communicate with them and they've deleted you as a friend, removed you. And I've got to thinking about this a lot. Because it seems to, you know, a lot of people have removed me as a friend. And I was thinking, well, what did I do so wrong to this person? Most of my memories are good memories. Most of the events you know, our friendship was good. At least I thought it was good. And then you get to thinking about, what it is that maybe you did. You think of specific instances and, some of the best times and maybe some of the not so good times. And you think, well, my interpretation of the situation might be X and theirs might be Y, and X is very different than Y, And they could have walked away from that situation with a totally different perception. And when you can't please everybody, but there's certain people you really want to please. Certain people you really, especially if you spent a lot of time with them and opened up your heart and you really, friends, ex-lovers, this message is to everyone, really. And I suppose if you don't leave a relationship with some type of closure, you're going to be haunted by it at some point. And if you're not right now, you eventually will. And, I've come to realize that you don't get away with anything in your life. And that you will always live with guilt. You might get away with the action, whatever it is you might have done. You might have stolen something from someone. You might have really hurt someone or did someone wrong. And they're just unaware of it. But, in the moment, you physically have gotten away with it. But again, what does get away with it mean? And that's what, you don't get away with anything in life. So, my point is, there's many of you who I just want to extend a hand to. And, and if I've done you wrong, you aren't going to see this. The likelihood of you seeing this is virtually zero because you've already done away with me, because it's been so long since we probably interacted with each other. And with COVID and everything going on, maybe you don't see many people for a year, going on maybe 2 years, 3 years, who knows how long a lot of normal events and activities will occur again. And well, I start to think, what makes me different than other people? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I trying to reach out to people? And, I never hear of people reaching out to others or apologizing or, I've never gotten any messages, certainly, like saying, hey, I miss you. How are things? But then I began to realize and think about it a bit more deeply, and I'm no different than anyone else. I'm not special. Everyone must feel this way. Everyone withholds guilt, and everyone has resentment towards other people. The degree in which, the guilt and resentment is felt or held is obviously the variable that can be interchangeable, and but I'm not the only one, and so the idea is, what do you do about it? And I've really started to think, I've been killing myself inside of my head thinking about this type of thing, along with many other things. And you try and mitigate the pain and the sorrow and, the loss by filling the void. And as you get older and maybe a bit more wise and you've experienced more of life's, I guess, delicacies, the things that bring you most value, you come to realize as you age what is most important in life and what you want to surround yourself with. And when you realize there's a big pocket, a big void missing, and you try and fill it with things, it doesn't really, and the things don't patch the void, right? Well enough. I lived a long time thinking, I've lived a long time with an open wound, let's say. And the more time I spent avoiding trying to stitch it up and treat it properly, the more the wound got bigger and the more susceptible it got to infection. And it comes a point where the wound needs to be treated. You can't ignore it anymore because the pain is it's spreading. You can think of it like a cancer. It starts to affect every aspect of your life. And you need to deal with it. You need to contend with the problem at hand. So this is my step number 1 in trying to find a different way to patch up the wound and avoid this trickle-down effect from one element of my life that can kind of seep into other aspects of my life and affect it in some ways, right? My life is, by no means is my life terrible. This isn't what I'm saying. My life is, I'm very grateful for what I have. But it doesn't hurt to try and make things better and thinking about what you've done wrong and where kind of your inadequacies lie is important, I think. And I've tried to fill the void. And the void has been, how I've tried to do it is through artistic expression. So my music, in my music, it's not cutting it though, because I still feel this way. So the artistic expression is through this instrumentation, through these compositions that I've been making, piano strings and kind of, the camera died on me, but my music is not uplifting. You wouldn't say it's uplifting when you listen to it. And it's because I've been trying to express how it is I feel without words. I've come to that conclusion. Maybe it's the wrong conclusion, but I feel like that is what it is, And, words are important. It's the psychotherapeutic method, right? It's the psychotherapeutic alliance, to be more precise. It's the idea you go to see a psychotherapist to engage in speaking the truth. And you hopefully come out of the situation with a clearer conscience and maybe a clearer, more precise understanding of the problems that you're facing and somewhat of a light to guide the dark tunnel towards a solution. And me just doing what I'm doing right now, engaging in a free association by myself is, eventually I'm gonna maybe get a light bulb that comes to my mind and it's like, okay, well maybe I really touched on it there. I feel better about this because I've spoken out some things that have been really bothering me. I wasn't able to really articulate it well enough, and I wasn't really able to understand the problem well enough. But after talking about it and just freely speaking, I've been able to get closer to hitting the nail on its head, And so, long shot. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm trying to do, at least. And well, yeah, maybe I'll just leave it at that. So, I guess I can end with, in a world right now where people are, someone's at my door, where forgiveness is lacking, I'm asking for it. And this isn't to say that, I can't point to a specific thing where I can think that I've done something that has catastrophically altered someone's life in the negative. I can't think of it. I my value and moral system throughout my life has been, it's changed, but it's been fairly consistent. My belief system of how it is you ought to act in the world. It's obviously changed as you get older, less naive, but less ignorant. But I'm trying to avoid resentment and malevolence, and rid myself of as much guilt as I can. And so, well, I appreciate you listening, and I think perhaps if you're listening, maybe this is something that you should think about too for yourself in your life situations. Even if you don't know me, it's like you're dealing with something, and you ought to figure out how to solve the problem, because you don't want your life to just end up in shambles, because it can only get worse if you just throw your problems away into the closet and never look at it. That's the Jungian concept, is that which you need most is where you least want to look. It's the age old walking into the tunnel and fighting the dragon. It's like, who wants to do that? It's not enjoyable. You could die. But it's something you have to do, because you become more. I'll leave it at that.